Chapter 15. Pseudo Christians, Mistaken Teachings of the Church. Christians' name. Christians a name. The greatest part of humanity calls itself Christian, but the Master says to you, if you were really Christians, you would already have conquered the rest of mankind with your love, humility, and peace. However, my doctrine, left during the Second Era, is not held in the hearts of humanity. It does not palpitate nor flower in the works of men, but is guarded in dusty books, and I have not come to talk about those books. In place of a book, I brought you my life, my word, my works, and my passion, and death as a man. And that is the reason that the greater part of humanity, while calling itself Christian, has neither the peace nor the grace of Christ, because they do not imitate him, and because they do not practice his doctrine. Listen to me, O disciples, so that you will erase from your mind ancient beliefs. Christianity was divided into sects, which do not show love among themselves, which humiliate, reject, and threaten their brethren with false judgments. I say to you that they are Christians without love. Therefore, they are not Christians, because Christ is love. There are those who represent Jehovah as an oldster, full of human imperfections, vengeful, cruel, and more dreadful than the worst of your judges of earth. I do not say this so that you will ridicule anyone, but that your concept of the divine love be purified. Today you are unaware of how you worshipped me in your past. How is it possible that the people who call themselves Christians destroy each other through war and even pray before going to kill their brethren, asking me to give them victory over their enemies? Is it possible that my seed can exist where instead of love, hatred prevails, and instead of forgiveness, vengeance? To all men of different beliefs and religions, I say to them that they have not known how to situate the worldly riches in order to rightfully place that which corresponds to those of the Spirit. If they were complying with my laws, they would already be contemplating the silhouette of the promised land from here and hearing the echo of the voices of its dwellers. You say that you believe in my existence and have faith in my divinity. You also say that my will be done, and truly I say to you, how meager is your faith and your conformity to what I have disposed. However, I have been encouraging within you a true faith so that you may be strong along the path I have outlined for you. Today I do not come to ask you for blood, nor that you sacrifice your life. What I ask of you is love, sincerity, truth, and unselfishness. Thus I indoctrinate and teach you, preparing thereby the disciples of my divinity in this third era. For I see you watching the march of the world indifferently, and this is because you do not know how to enter the hearts of humanity, where there is so much misery and pain. There is great inequality, for I see lords who lack only a crown to call themselves kings, and I see subjects who are truly slaves. That is where the struggle has been ignited. Among these wealthy lords in the world, there are many who call themselves Christian, yet I tell you that they barely know my name. Those who do not see their fellow men in others, who accumulate wealth and take that which belongs to others, are not Christians, for they do not know charity. The struggle between the spiritual and the material shall come. Humanity will enter that struggle, but oh, how much bitterness they will have to suffer for the triumph of justice to arrive. Agnostics and religious fanatics, I tell you, it is better to be full of uncertainties and denials than full of false affirmations or lies that you pass for truth. It is better to make a sincere denial that is born of doubt or ignorance than a hypocritical affirmation of a falsehood. Clean doubt, which hungers for understanding, is better than a firm belief in any myth. Desperate uncertainty that shouts for light is better than fanatical resolution or idolatry. Today, non-believers, the untrusting, and the embittered abound everywhere. They are rebels who many times see more clearly than others, and who do not sympathize with their ritualism, nor are they convinced by the affirmations of those who lead mankind spiritually. For all of those complicated theories do not fill the heart that thirsts for pure waters to calm their anguish. Those you judge rebels often show more light in their questions than those who, believing themselves wise or great, answer them. They feel, see, touch, hear, and understand with more clarity than many who call themselves masters of the divine lessons. Oh, how transparent and simple the truth is! How clear and simple spirituality is! Nonetheless, they are difficult to comprehend for he who remains obstinately in the darkness of his fanaticism and traditions, his mind cannot conceive that there is something beyond what he knows, and his heart resists renouncing what for him has been his God and law, tradition and rites. Do you think that I abhor those who insist on not seeing my truth? No, my children, my charity is infinite, and it is precisely those I seek to help them escape from their captivity, so they may feel the ecstasy of seeing the light. To them I reserve the trials necessary to awaken their faith. They are not trials superior to their strength. They are lessons wisely appropriate to each spirit, each life, and each man. It is from among these darkened minds, from among the hearts sick with religious fanaticism and ignorance that you see the great fervent soldiers of the truth arise, for the day that they are freed from their chains and their darkness, and see the light, they cannot contain their joy, and shout with all their might that I have come to save the world, raising it to the true kingdom on the spiritual ladder. Adulteration of the doctrine of Jesus Christ and its consequences. I give you my word with the same essence with which I spoke to you in the second era, and I have come to remind you of many of my teachings that you had forgotten, or from which you had withdrawn due to erroneous interpretations of your predecessors. You had complied badly with my doctrine, to such an extent that I can say that you had created a path completely different than mine, but to which you applied the same name. No one but I could draw you away from your error with words of life, love, and truth. That is why today, when you are listening to me, analyze and comprehend my word, and there will be light within you. This is the time when I come to tell you with all clearness that the reincarnation of the Spirit exists, that it is so since the beginning of humanity, like a light of justice and divine love, without which you would be unable to evolve along the extensive road of spiritual perfection. There is really little that the religions have revealed to humanity about the Spirit, but soon they shall awaken from their lethargy, and blessed will be those who, overcoming their scruples and fears, uncover for humanity the truth they have concealed. I will illuminate them with the light of my forgiveness, of my grace, and my wisdom. When humanity recognizes that religions do not exist only so that men live morally on earth, but also have the mission of leading the spirit to its eternal dwelling place, humanity will have taken a step forward on the path of its spiritual evolution. After I came to earth through Jesus in the second era, I continued to send others to earth who were my apostles and soldiers to confirm my doctrine with their deeds, and to prevent humanity from distorting my teachings. However, many spiritually deaf and blind have misinterpreted my word, disagreeing with each other and creating different sects. If mankind is spiritually divided, how?